Hey guys, welcome to Thursday's Ask Amy Q&A. This goes on every week consistently about 12 a.m. or 12, I guess it's 12 p.m. Mountain Time, noon Mountain Time. And if you want details on that, you just go to amysatori.com/ask Amy, and you can learn everything you need to know about these Q&As in there, including the dates that if you ask a question right now, when that might come out. So this week was a little strange. I had a technical difficulty, so I hope that I got to everybody who submitted your question. Usually it pulls right up, but for some reason this time only 3 questions pulled up. And I was like, I know there's a lot more than 3 questions this week. So I had to go in, I had to go in like manually and look at each one separately. So it was really quite cumbersome. Apparently the website company is having issues. So I'm sorting that out. Just let me know if I missed you. This should be from February 1st all the way through the beginning of the 7th, not, so if you submitted a question after, noonish, then it probably won't be on here. It'll be on the next one. But before noon, you're probably good. You're probably on this one. And you can just check the timestamps underneath this video to see if you're on there. And I'm recording it different this week because some of you said that you couldn't hear in both ears and you wanted to. So I'm hoping that you can hear me now because I'm recording this on Zoom without video instead of the usual way where I use an external mic. So what else could I tell you? My cards are going to be available again soon. And I've even been putting together the new spirit deck. So those should be made available within a week or so, maybe even sooner than that. So that's awesome. Awesome that I'll be having those out for you guys again. Also, I'm going to also make going to make 20-minute videos available again soon. So keep your eyes out for those. And there is a shorter wait time now that the whole Michelle Fielding thing exploded back when, and I had like months and months and months of a waiting list. That is now much, much shorter, and you could probably get in within a few weeks. And I guess that's it for announcements today. So we're going to go this cumbersome way, and I'm going to have to pause this. Hopefully I don't miss somebody due to pausing. I hope not. But okay, let me put this on airplane mode, and then we'll get to the first person, and I'll go find you now. Okay. OH. My cat looks like he's been feeling down lately. I'd like to know if there's anything I can do for him, and would like to ask for a healing prayer. Thank you for what you do. Okay. I feel like he's actually feeling energetically like he sees it kind of like as evolving. It's kind of growth spurts. This is interesting. This is like, seems like ascension symptoms, actually. And it feels like he's feeling some of your feelings. Like, I think you maybe might be feeling tired too, and he's feeling your energy. So a lot of times they do, like, they're empathic, so they take on our stuff. So let me just have a talk with him about maybe not doing that right now. Like, well, going through the ascension symptoms, yes, but not taking on your stuff. And I'm going to show him how to properly flush out his own energy so he's not taking on your stuff. Opoma laki itum pabihit na aike. Ha shin chasen zana. Opoma umaan. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he seems fine. He doesn't seem troubled or distressed or in pain. He's just, it's almost like his body is recuperating. I don't know what it would be recuperating from, but let's see here. I'm looking at some pet cards. Huh. Yeah, I'd really like to have some energy done work done on me. I'm dyslexic today. So I just did some energy work on him. So he probably felt that, I guess. Shenche la hama ma anate kain sapu pomo on. Shanata te la sanse ke la pumum han ate again. Okay. Could you please leave me entertained when you go away? So I guess he's a little bored when you're not around. When you're gone from home, I can actually see what you're experiencing through your eyes. I love seeing what your life is like. Do you feel me when I do that? Aw. I'm truly happy with the way things are. Please stop worrying if I'm happy enough. That's funny, how cute. I think I could really use some discipline and or training. I feel like I'd be more confident if I knew what you were wanting of me in various situations. I'd know better what to do. So maybe he feels a little insecure that he's not sure what to do with himself when, in certain situations. Yeah, I got the same one again about him looking through your eyes while you're gone. Ooh, I think there's a spirit or other supernatural energy in our home. Have you also been noticing it? Should we do a clearing or look into it more deeply? Let me do that for him. Yeah, it does feel like I feel something peaking. It's like around the entertainment center in the living room or something. It feels harmless enough. I don't even think it's a residual. Is it an elemental or something? It's like an elemental or something, but it's the size of a person, like a small person. I suppose it could be like a human-sized fairy-ish, something like that. Whatever it feels like is kind of, it feels like it has a fun energy. It's like distracts your cat sometimes, like runs across the room or something. I feel like a feminine energy, like it's funny. Okay, so he's also saying, and I didn't ask her to leave because it feels natural to me. It feels like a thing that's good. And she's nodding, yes, 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 I'm good. So I don't think that it's a bad thing. I think your cat's just wondering or maybe you're wondering what your cat's looking at and your cat's answering you. Okay, so please do some healing on yourself so you can see me more clearly. I feel like you are projecting a lot of your unhealed pain onto me. That's very, very common that owners do that. You think that, if you imagine yourself being a cat and if you were a cat and you were doing that thing, this is what you would be thinking or whatever. So it's always a good idea if you can study cats. Jackson Galaxy on YouTube is really, really great to watch when it comes to getting in the mind of your cat. An example would be, when a cat scratches your furniture, like right next to you, if it comes up to greet you and it scratches furniture right next to you, we take that as an insult. We take that as like, how could you shred my furniture? And you get angry and you're like, stop it, and things like that. But if you'll actually observe the cat, if you go to, correct it or get upset with it, the cat looks kind of hurt. And that's because cats, they feel it's almost like them coming up and crawling up in your lap with their little blankie and sucking their thumb. Like it's a very intimate thing, and it means that they feel very comfortable with you. And it's actually a really big compliment. Unfortunately, I mean, somebody needs to if anybody out there is feeling like industrious, I guess, we need cat furniture. We need cat furniture that has like the front part be the, the stuff that they can shred. And you can get them to use just the front if that's the case. But like this furniture, the way people are, make it, and then they have cats living with them, it's hard, and then you feel so bad if you really care about your cat and you're looking at the cat's reaction when you get upset with it. It's so confused and hurt. And it's like, well, but I did it because I felt close to you, So, we can't, studying animals is really helpful so that we don't get ourselves unnecessarily hurt, kind of thing. Okay, so now I need to find where we are. Hang on. Okay, AD. A true love spread for my DM and I. I'm so grateful and proud of you and all divine couples. Love always wins. Big hug to you, Annie and Nala. Okay. Okay, so let me get out my cards. Okay, so what is he thinking and feeling about her right now, please? What is her divine masculine thinking and feeling about her right now, please? What's her divine masculine thinking and feeling about her right now, please? He's trying to give the strength to do something. He wants us to come together. He's feeling inspired and creative. He wants to create abundance with you. He wants to communicate with you. He's trying to get the strength to communicate with you. He's trying to overcome his ego. He's bruised with his ego a little bit. Why does he have an ego bruise? I think he's I just saw the word insult. I think he's insulted not by you, but from his karmic, actually. I think somebody kind of put him down and made him feel a little beat up and battered. And he had some kind of an epiphany about you being his dream come true. And that he kind of like, I thought I could make money with you. I thought that, being with you could really open some doors for me. And then whatever he had happened with her, and this is often the case with true love, they have to go down another route in order to see things more clearly. And there was a ding. It's like, he did that. And then he's just like, what the hell was I thinking? I can't even be myself. You're not, he was like comparing her to you and just feeling like there is no comparison here. Like perfect clarity. At the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Swords and the world and justice. So he knows that he has really done you wrong and he wants to make it right by you and heal things and be vulnerable and authentic, which he couldn't be with her. So, but he's got to get over his ego in the sense that he has to come crawling back to you and apologize for even going down that road, and maybe lying to you or hiding from you. And in the future, it looks like he balances that activity out and he, comes out with like he might surprise you. It might actually surprise you. He might make some kind of an announcement about wanting a new beginning. He's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to kick that karmic to the curb, is what it looks like. And it looks like, yeah, he wants to like sneak up on you. Could even take a road trip. He could sneak up on you in a car. That's funny. Yes, Knight of Swords. I'm only laughing because I know this person. The Star. Yeah. Which is even funnier with road trip. Oh, yeah, he really wants to just be himself and be vulnerable and to heal this. And he does believe you guys have a bright future together. And he said now more than ever before, having made, having gone down that road and made a U-turn, he's like, oops, I better not lose her. I love her. And he's wanting to go to the next level with you. So, yeah. Looks like you guys are good. Okay, MLM. MLM, that's funny. Hi, lovely light being Amy. Enjoyed the video chat a few weeks back. As we wait for all these things to happen, I'm looking around for places to have a healing sanctuary for the people. Not sure of the value I'm looking for, as I don't know that part as of yet. I'm freeing up more time, as this is my plan, instead of running ragged in this old life. This then sends me a message, the universe, that I am ready. How can you see around this, please? So you want to do a sanctuary, not sure of the value. I'm freeing up more time, as this is my plan, instead of running ragged. Okay, I'm not quite sure what you're asking, but let me just feel into your project and see what I get here. Okay. Oh, and I just saw the 10 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. So a brand new passionate beginning that's gonna make your dreams come true and everyone's dreams come true. That's gonna create like a legacy. It's gonna be fiery and passionate and exciting. I see a lot of buzz around it. The value of the, I don't even know where to start with that. You don't need to have all those details, let's just say. If you're working on a humanitarian project, like I think you're talking about, because you're wanting to start a healing sanctuary, then I would say that you just need to, put a rough summary together, a rough outline. I would watch on YouTube. I have a video. If you just put in Amy Satori and the word humanitarian, a talk will come up where a lady like did as much as she possibly could on all of these different ideas she had about a center that she wanted to do. But you can change everything as you go along. You don't have to have a solid plan. You can even have people involved at this stage of the game and change all your players as you go. But you just have to have a general idea of what you want to do. And just have an imagination. Just, treat it like you're a little kid, just kind of playing. Like when I was little, I used to play with horses. I used to have a barn full of horses. Some of them were sick, some of them were studs, some of them were mares. And I had fun trying to figure out which ones go where and which ones are getting exercise and which ones needed medication, which ones needed, all kinds of different things. And it was just really fun. So let your imagination go wild as to some different things that you can have in your sanctuary and what would be needed. Just use your imagination and let it go wild. I feel like there's going to be water there, like some kind of, I don't know, there might be streams, but I feel like there's like some waterfalls, like some created waterfalls and like fountains and things like that. Like I just hear like a lot of trickling water, just really peaceful and reflective. And I feel like there's lots of room for people to walk around and have nice conversations with each other. And I see some people drinking tea, and I just feel like it's a really quiet atmosphere with birds chirping in the background. And it just feels really, really peaceful, kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I think you have to drive quite a ways outside of town to get to it. Like I would say, a good 30 minutes outside of hearing any kind of traffic. Down some country road, there's some forest around it as well, but the center is not in the forest. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like there's a horseshoe and you're in the center of the horseshoe. But it's going to be really beautiful, and you might even have multiple ones that you end up like that springing up. There might be other ones it might be duplicated elsewhere, but not like tons of them, but just like maybe a few of them. So, what unique flavor can you bring to a healing center? What do you know that you don't think other people know? Are you into yoga or hot yoga specifically, or like try to come up with some kind of a niche that makes you stand out so that other healing centers who don't have that or don't specialize in that, can send people to you, because there's going to be a ton of healing centers coming up. So make yourself stand out in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's the water. Maybe it's just a healing center centered around water and how healing water can be. That kind of a thing. So yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, let's see here. Hello, Amy. I would just like to know if there are any messages from my DM. We took a walk in January. He friend zoned me, and now he's completely disappeared again. Thank you in advance. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look. What's he thinking and feeling about her right now, please? What's he thinking and feeling about her right now? I just said, did you friend zone her? And he said, no, I did not. So apparently he doesn't see it that way. He's putting his hand over his face, like shaking his head, like, oh. It's like he keeps messing up. So I'm going to do a spread here. He's had some kind of an epiphany that's helping him overcome something in his heart. So let me just lay all these out. Wow, he's very interesting. Divine intervention has jumped in and intervened on your behalf and has kind of smacked him around a little bit, giving him some clarity. That's hilarious. Yeah, he really just looks like maybe it's what I just said to him, like, dude, you friend zoned her. No, I didn't. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I think I friend zoned her, like on accident. No, he's got to overcome that. Second masculine we felt in today, who's got to overcome his ego. Like he really wants us to come together and to go to the next level. He feels very passionate about you. There are a lot of wands. There's the 2 of wands. That one is the 9 of wands, and then the 4 of wands. How many wands is that's a ton of wands? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's 6. That's lovers. So he that is not a friend, and he wants to do right by you. And you've got the Justice card and the 10 of Pentacles. He wants to do right by you, and you are his dream come true. But I also feel like Justice and the 10 of Pentacles is him like facing his family and the family values of what they think should be and all that kind of stuff. And he's like standing up for his love for you, saying, that's what I want. That's what would provide a happy family for me. And I believe it would actually make our whole family happy, if you'd let me do what I want. So he's pushing back on his family, I feel. And he's wanting to heal things from you. He misses you. He feels like you make him feel comfortable being vulnerable. I really just feel like there's also a sexual vibe. Like, he wants to get naked. He does not, he doesn't want to cover you up. There's something about like covering you up, like keeping you covered up. He doesn't want to cover you up anymore. He really just wants you to be in your beauty and just shine and sparkle like you are and wear whatever the hell you want to and flaunt it all over the place because he's sick of it. He's just sick of the whole thing. And in the future, he's got the 6 of Cups with the Ace of Swords. So he's thinking about you a lot, and it brings him clarity. All of a sudden, may even be like an epiphany that happens where he's just like, geez, I cannot stop thinking about her and the rapport that we have, this incredible connection. And it looks like he's going to deliver some type of an apology or asking you out to go on some kind of a date or something. He just has to make that judgment call coming up here in the future, because this is going to drive him crazy. And he's tired of being insecure and letting his family or whoever push him around and tell him what to do. He wants to grow up and be his own man, basically. And he's starting to get some balls, it looks like. Okay, so he's looking pretty good. Let me just look at just feel drawn to some masculine cards as well. Let's see. If I haven't said it yet or in a while, I love you. See, that's not a friend. Well, it could be a friend. My limiting beliefs are evolving. I'm becoming more open-minded. If my beliefs were an issue before, please don't assume that I'm the same way now. I'm much more ready to listen to you now. I'm thinking of you right now. And it's putting a smile on my face. I can't wait till we're face to face. I always get giddy the closer I get to coming to see you. I'm closer than you think. I'm so sorry. I really am. I hope you can forgive me. I just feel so bad. Okay, he's also been putting messages out publicly for your eyes only. He's hoping you're noticing. But he's been going through a test of faith, trying to push through his self-imposed prison, living this double life, trying to people please his family and whatnot. But no, he's getting tired of it. He's getting real tired of it quick. Okay. Okay, Kate, I'm working through conflicts or challenges in many areas of my life. Are my past lives influencing my current challenges? Very interesting. Yes, of course. Let me see how. I just see you kind of lunging forward, being excited about some projects, and somebody almost lassoing you and pulling you back, or you may have been a horse or something, because I feel like somebody put some gear on you and kind of pull you down, and you're having to push forward almost like you're like tied up to a wagon or something, and you're having to pull it around, even though I feel like this is like that movie Spirit or something, with that horse that wants to run free and it didn't want to be domesticated. So I feel like there's something about every time that you want to fly free and be your true self and just do whatever the hell you want to do, there's something that makes you just like kind of turn around and look around like, all right, who's going to try to stop me? All right, what are you going to try to do here? Um, they said that this life is the one where you are going to break free and do your own thing, and to prove that you can fly and you don't need, like nobody nobody can snip your wings, nobody can lasso you, and nobody can grab you and hold you back anymore. And you're going to do it in a world where that's kind of prevalent, where there's tyranny and everything trying to stop you at every corner. But they did that on purpose to help you feel accomplished and to burn through a bunch of karma when you make that happen in this life, which you will be doing. Teacher, I just saw you teaching, doing something having to do with teaching. Teaching must be close to your heart, and I think you are actually a good teacher. So I think you just almost need to put your blinders on to what anybody else is doing and just enjoy what you're doing so much that you don't even realize other people even exist. I get that way sometimes. I get in a zone and I'm just working and just having so much fun, and my mouth is rattling off on a video, and then I go over here and I do some cards, and it's like a full-time job, just me flying around here having fun and just being in such a zone that sometimes I'll look up and I'll be like, whoa, there's like other people out in the world walking around, milling around, shopping and doing things, driving cars, And so I feel like you're going to be like that. Like you're going to get in a zone with what you're doing, and it's going to feel wonderful and natural and easy. You're about to start some kind of a process like it if you haven't already started. And once you're in the flow and you stop looking around for someone to stop you, I feel like you're going to really start going places. They said if you need help too, listen to some music that inspires you, or shake stress off your body, like go dance and have a good time, and don't let anything get to you, or don't let anything bother you. And there shouldn't be anything that's going to stop you from the past life or anything. So I'm going to do a blessing real quick, just to make sure that the past life doesn't rear its ugly head like a horror movie, when the person pops out of the grave and it's still alive, or you thought you shot them and then they pop back up. So let me do a blessing to make sure that all the dead dogs lay dead, and they're not going to be resurrected coming after you. It's trying to stop you. All right. I don't know if you've thought of going to Arizona or something, but I feel like um I just got that. I just felt like you relocating to Arizona or something. So you might want to watch. I just put out a video this week. And it says, "Are you thinking of moving?" or something like that. Go watch that video, and I think it's got, it'll give you the confirmation that you're looking for to make that move. I feel like a young girl in the picture. I don't know if that's your daughter. I'm thinking it probably is, and that whoever that is like, they think you're hesitating because of them, and they feel bad because they actually really want to go, and they want you to be happy too. So they want you to know that. Okay, and if it's not your daughter, then I don't know what in the world. I mean, I guess that could be like a spirit child that's attached to you, or it could be your unborn spirit baby. It could be so many different things. No, I just feel like it. I feel like it's your daughter or a young girl involved in your life who's thinking she wants to go with you. Okay. Okay, SM. Hi, Amy. I recently resigned from my last job once I reconnected with a former supervisor. They made an offer to increase the number of monthly supervision hours that I've been working towards since 2019. Good for you. Congrats. I did not go through with the hiring process due to their V requirements that I was not privy to before I quit my other job. Oh no. So I'm currently unemployed, and would like guidance on if I should go back to the job I resigned from, or reapply to the other job once the V requirements are lifted, or change career paths. Ah, man, what a bummer. Gosh, this crazy world we're living in. Hopefully you're watching those that grand jury. If you're on my channel, I just posted the link for being able to watch that grand jury thing. It is a legal thing, you guys. It is a real thing. And they are really bringing some truth to the world with tons of evidence and the real people involved, and no actors apparently. So that's got to be incredible. So it's the real tribunals going on, and that's been going on in the background this whole time, I guess. So that's exciting stuff. Okay. So, God, does he need to go back to the job? No. What about the new? No. They wanted you to get in limbo like you are. So there was no mistake. I would definitely look up my exercise on YouTube. Thank you, God, for my misery. Say thank you, God, that you've put me in limbo, and list all the advantages and benefits as to why that's perfect right now. I feel like it's made you a free agent. I do know that there are some companies out there. I forget that, like Red Balloon or something like that. There are some companies that have started that are still a little bit, working through some kinks. But I feel like there are some well-intended companies that are looking for, just like some dating sites and stuff too, where they don't have the V. They don't require the V or anything. In fact, they would prefer to have people who don't have the V. So I would be looking at those companies, and I just saw the word scout. So I feel like somebody is going to be looking for someone like you. Has he been in contact with him before? No. They want you to scout out the scout, I guess. So maybe look for an agent or a scout that would be looking for somebody like you. An agency or something. Get in touch with people that you used to work for too, like in the past. Like do some networking and just let people know that you're available. I would also ask a question. How does your company stand when it comes to the vaccines? Just come right out with it. And if they say, oh, we require blah, 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 okay, no, thank you. You just move on. You can find that out right away then. And the more people who do that, the more of us that call and inquire and hang up when they say they require, I mean, they might get like 100 calls a day and get a clue, like I'm not gonna, it'll just make a point. So maybe that's part of the reason that you're doing it is they're gonna really be, you might send in your application and they might go, oh my gosh, this person's perfect. And then time and time again, you're just rejecting them. Sorry, no. I have principles and I'm not gonna, subject myself to this nonsense. Like, forget it. So thank you also for standing up against this. Every one of you who are listening to this and you're standing up against it in your own way. I want to thank you because for everyone, everybody who's taking a stand is standing up for every one of us, all of us, to make this a safer world and to bring all this tyranny to an end. And so thank you so much to those of you who are doing this and you're making your sacrifices in your own individual way. So they said great things are coming for you. So not to be in that, don't get into worry and a lack mentality. I would definitely be affirming. Thank you, God, so much that thank you, God, that I'm being given the most incredible lucrative opportunities I could have ever dreamt of that don't require the V. Thank you, God, so much that you've safely removed me from any kind of treacherous situations and you've brought me to a company that I really believe in and I'm super excited to work for. And oh my gosh, I'm just so relieved that I landed on the right company with the right ethics and that are so happy to have me too. And just be affirming that 24/7 and keeping your eyes and your mind wide open in terms of what you could do with your past experience and how you could apply it even in maybe even in a different way. You never know. Yeah, I do feel like you're going to be doing the same thing. I just feel like it's going to be different than you're expecting. So just keep an open mind and seek out companies that don't require the V. Okay. Okay, EC. Hi, Amy. I'm a Taurus, an extrovert, and am a sensitive starseed. It makes for an interesting situation with friends. I'm outgoing, fun. It sounds like a personal ad, a dating ad. I'm outgoing, fun, and have a very generous heart. But for some reason, most friends aren't as invested as I am. I'm often hurt because I invite and include them with many things, but they often don't return the rapport and just hold me at arm's length. I've had this all my life and I'm now in my 50s. Is this because of something unconscious I do that pushes them away? Is my energy too high for them? Any feedback would be appreciated. Now that's interesting. I know someone else who kind of has trouble with that as well. Okay, so yeah, okay, so they just said the word superficial. So it could be that, let's see, and I just got too much. So I would say that you need to spend more time one-on-one with people, deeply connecting with them. Like be genuinely interested in their life and really, all somebody really ever wants is to be heard and understood. If you can do that, you'll have as many friends as you could ever have to do with. Just if you can just master the art of listening. And I have a really good video on that. If you go into my playlist, Talks About Life, there's one in there that says how to be an effective listener or something like that. Just become a really good listener and really try to understand what the person is saying. Don't just say, yeah, I get that. I understand. I feel that way too sometimes, and blab on about yourself. Instead, If they say something, say, why do you feel that way? I wonder what that's about. So ask a question and they'll say, oh, well, it's because when I was a child, this happened and that happened. Oh, wow, that must have been something. So what was your dad like? Or what was your mom like? If you don't mind talking about that. And they'll be like, oh, well, my mom was this and that and the other thing. Wow, that must have been such a thing. So you validate their feelings and you keep listening and you keep digging into their life as much as they're comfortable. And you really, you can give them honest feedback and honest appreciation. Like, wow, you've really been through a lot. I think that's amazing. I mean, look at you now. You're flourishing in this business and you're doing this, that, and the other thing. And you should feel so proud of yourself. That's just, how cool is that? And then, you know what, we should celebrate on Friday. We should go out and have a good time and say, you know what, here's to overcoming the difficulties in our lives. Just be thoughtful and give to your friends. Also, if somebody doesn't click with you and they don't want to be your friend and they're not calling you back and they're, any of that, if they're not reciprocating, if they're not giving back to you just as much as you put out, forget them. I mean, I sort through friends so fast. I'm just like, I watch for that. And the things that I look the most for is sincerity. I don't want them to jump to conclusions. I want them to ask a lot of questions and to want clarity so they don't misunderstand something that I'm saying. I don't want them to jump in and want to rescue me. I want them to just be a good listener and just care. That's all. Just really care. And, like, I've, like, it just honestly, whatever they're going through, just feel for them. Feel for them. If they're going through a bunch of stuff, you don't just blaze over it and act like, oh, that's no big deal, or whatever, or just ignore it, or just be busy, or, you can be like, wow, wow. And, sometimes you have to train yourself to stop being selfish. I mean, as a society, so many of us are just like all about us. And we have to stop sometimes and go, you know what? So-and-so is going through this, that, and this thing in her family. And then you sit and reflect on it and go, wow, boy, that'd be tough to go through this with kids. Or man, this would be wow. And then you just leave her a message and be like, I was just thinking about it. I was just contemplating about my life and this, that, and the other thing. And I thought, wow, you've got kids. That must be like, I can't even imagine. So relate to the person that you want to be friends with, give to them, be thoughtful, be considerate, and be a really good listener and care about them. And hopefully you get it back. And if you don't get it back, who gives a crap? Just move on. And like, if somebody doesn't fit, for what you want, just move on. Don't waste any time. Just like the minute you figure out it's not the best situation in the world, you can't make somebody be what you want them to be. I've had friends to where it's like they don't respond the way I would want them to. They don't seem to really even care. They care about their own happiness, but like when it comes to anything really cool that happens to me, they're just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's nice. Good for you. That's cool. And it's like, do I want to tell my exciting things in my life to someone who acts like that? So maybe you either start to have, you don't tell them those types of things anymore. You don't tell them the precious things that are really close to your heart anymore because they don't treat it as like you would treat it. Or you don't tell them the awesome news that happens because because that their reaction is going to be like, meh, or you're just done with it altogether. So you'll just have to feel it out for yourself, but value yourself enough and love yourself enough to not waste your time in any way, so just do the very best you can, put the energy and the effort out there. Be willing to also see yourself, whatever they reflect back to you, be willing to take a look at it. If you think that they're being a B word for some reason, instead of complaining, and you should hopefully be evolved to this point anyway, but if somebody said, instead of calling them a B word and complaining to your friend, oh, they're such a B, actually instead of complaining about the person, go back to the person and say, wow, you kind of came across kind of rough with me right there, or that seemed a little bit harsh. What's going on with you? why did you do that? I assume you must have some kind of a good reason, or what's going on. What were you thinking when you sent that to me? What goes on in that head of yours, and try to understand them so that you give them the opportunity to explain where they're coming from, and you actually can get to know them, and you get closer and you can bond over that type of an experience. If you're just complaining about someone saying that person's a B word, and you go tell your friend or whatever about it, and you're just like, this person said it, that does you no good. You don't grow from that experience. All you get is your ego reinforced. So your ego feels better and you feel better about it, but it doesn't do your relationship any good at all. In fact, it's totally divisive, between you. So yeah, be able to communicate with people honestly and openly. And if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But don't put too much work into it if it's not, if it's not worth it. Know your value, know your worth that way. Okay. Okay, EH. Hi, Amy. My 9-year-old has been seeing images and hearing sounds at night. He's awake when it happens, so it's not a nightmare. He has a hard time describing it, but it scares him and doesn't go away. It comes on and off. He calls on Archangel Michael before bed to put a bubble around him, and it usually doesn't happen when he does that. I'm concerned that it's something negative. Can you ask Spirit what he's seeing and why? Yeah, and it's funny because I just made a video for children. And I talk about a boogeyman in the closet making sounds. And I do say that about free will. I don't call it free will, but I say that you give it permission if you're scared. So it's important to be brave and have a sense of humor and kind of laugh at it, and that it can't hurt you or touch you if you laugh and have a sense of humor. So maybe have him watch that. Have him watch that video. It'll help him feel better. Let me feel into it too. Yeah, actually, I think he's going to get a lot out of the video because I just saw, or I just was reminded of the part in the video where I talk about the dinosaur that comes down the street all the time and how much it scared me, and it was finally, I figured out at the end that he was actually just wanting to play with me. So I feel like whatever's in the closet or whatever it is that's making the noises, it's really just kind of a playful spirit, kind of like the spirit earlier in the Q&A. Somebody else had some kind of playful spirit like that in their home. It feels like elementals are maybe moving through. Because we're in the fourth dimension, or the fourth dimension. So yeah, so I feel like the elementals are trying to push through the veil, and they're trying to be seen more. So I feel like it's also kind of shy, and it wants to be made known, and it wants to be seen. And like I recently I kept thinking it was a cat or something. It would rub on my leg and then disappear, and it wouldn't be there. And I'd see something out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, what the heck is that thing? Like, what is this thing I keep seeing? It keeps like playing with me. And then when some things started vanishing, I was like, okay, something's totally toying with me right now. And I figured out that it was an elf. So it's something like that that's just as curious about him as he is about it. If he wasn't as afraid, he might actually, like during the daytime, he might say like, I would like to talk to you, I'd like to talk to you. And, but I don't want to talk to anyone who is not nice. So I only want to talk to any kind of spirits that are kind and loving, and that really, are coming from a really good place. So he could ask the thing, if you're coming from a good place, could you, show me a message? Maybe don't come to me at night, but come to me during the day because I get scared of you at night. Maybe he could start to try to communicate with it during the day, and encourage him to continue to talk about it with you. Don't, obviously you're not going to make him crazy because you listen to me, so you're open-minded. But definitely, like, oh, they just said a unicorn too would be helpful for him. Unicorns are really protective and they're totally pure-hearted, so evil will not come anywhere near one. So teach him the power of unicorns as well. Oh, I should have put this in the kid video. I didn't put that in there. But it's, how many things can you remember to talk about in one of those? Maybe I'll have to put out another one, a part 2 or something. Because unicorns are so powerful. And so he can just do some kind of a meditation where he just sits quietly and he asks to be introduced to his unicorn. And I do feel he has one that would love to come in and help with this. But all he has to do is say the unicorn's name, and he can ask the unicorn what its name is, or he can name it himself. The unicorn probably, I'm sure, wouldn't mind at all. It just said, no, it doesn't mind. But, name the unicorn, say the unicorn's name. Michael is fine too. You could ask Michael, but sometimes a kid kind of needs a placebo, something that it really believes in. Because like I say in the video with the boogeyman, like if you say God will protect me, but you're really actually scared, it's not going to do you any good. You gotta go for something you really actually think will work. So sometimes the unicorn is just the perfect trick, the perfect thing. I feel like he could become friends with the spirit, whatever this is. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I feel like it's is it a residual energy? It could be even residual energy of a boy that used to live there and died somewhere in the area or something like that. Does the boy need to pass away? No, it's just, well, it wouldn't be a residual energy. It would just be still there from what, from being stuck there because things were unresolved. Residual energy is more like it doesn't have a consciousness. It's just kind of like living out the life that it used to have without knowing it's really dead. But this boy seems like he would interact with your son and that they could actually learn something from each other if your son stops being scared and if he can start trying to talk to him during daytime hours. I feel like that could work out. And if worse comes to worse, you could, if the boy keeps coming back at night and he's not respecting his wishes and stuff like that, then he could tell the boy some night, when he's tried other things, he could say to the boy, I really don't want you here at night because it keeps me awake because I'm scared. So I'm asking you to leave now. You can go back to where you came from and play the black magic, what's called removing black magic or removing negativity and black magic. Just look for some kind of video like that by me on my channel. Just put in Amy Satori remove negativity, and I think the video should come up. If anyone else wants to put it, comment underneath here with the link to the video if you know what it is and you use it a lot yourself. That'd be awesome. Thank you. So yeah, it's it doesn't feel like anything threatening or scary or bad. So yeah, hama anata eke sa sashi ina hapo on, and help him experiment with having a sense of humor. See if he starts laughing, if it disappears. I pretty much guarantee that would be the case. Okay. Okay, J.E. Sending love and gratitude for all you do, Amy. Can I have a blessing for my cat and my daughter's dog? If there's any way we can make their lives better, please let us know. Yeah, and let me grab the pet cards as well. I just got Halloween. What about Halloween? Something may be spooking Blue. Somebody may be spooking Blue. Like a spirit or something. Boo. I just saw boo. Like something is startling Blue. Something is saying boo to Blue. Okay. It's a loud, it's kind of a loud sound, like a, I don't know what in the world that would be. You know, it may not be supernatural. It might be like just something he hears sometimes that scares him and makes him think that it's something spooky like that. That's funny. If yeah, I don't even know if you've seen him react to it or anything, but if you have, if he kind of jumps at the sound, you might want to show him the sound and tell him what it is or something, because he's kind of spooked by it. Okay, please do more healing on yourself so you can see me more clearly. I feel that you're projecting a lot of unhealed pain onto me. That's why I'm doing Blue first, because of this, whatever has been spooking him. So your daughter, I guess, would do well to start maybe learning about positive reinforcement, dog training, and maybe even get her for a birthday or something, get her a pet deck, and so she can start getting to know her dog better and stop projecting, thinking that he's thinking what she's thinking. If she were him, like, you know what I mean? Like, take all that out of it and learn actual dog behavior and why they do what they do. I just got that if she just studies what it means when their ears are in different positions, or studies what it means when their tails are in different positions. Like, she needs to study also what they do, what is that, animal posture or whatever. I'm allergic to something in my food. So let's see. Can't touch it. Grain. I think it might be grain. I think he needs something with more protein. And I think that he needs something even more than chicken, something special like a quail, something kind of fancy, duck or something. It's like, I think you should experiment with something. They said more pure. It could have rice in it, but like for some reason grain doesn't do well with him. I don't trust you like I'd like to. Today seems to be also kind of another running theme, seems to be like people feeling misunderstood or needing to clarify so that there's understanding there. I think things will change a lot when you understand animal behavior or dog behavior. Yeah, and I think you can develop that trust, because it feels like you get mad at him and think that he's thinking something and he's not. It's called anthropomorphism, if you want to know the definition of it. But it's like, it's basically just putting human emotions on your animal when it's not true. Now, if you're, an animal psychic like me, then that's different. But, typically, like, if you see garbage on the floor and you walk into the house and there's garbage all over the floor and your dog looks guilty, it's because you've punished the dog before when there's been trash on the floor, but it doesn't actually mean that the dog actually knows that it did anything wrong. It's just scared of you. So that's an example. My heart breaks when you feel this way. I'm here for you and I love you. Oh, so he really wants to be there for you. He wants you guys to understand each other more deeply. You make me feel so loved. Is there anything I can do for you? Oh, so maybe tell him what he can do. Like, just talk to him maybe and let him know how he makes you feel loved. Like when you do that, I love when you do this and I love when you do that. Like, be talking to him. I'm truly happy the way things are. Please stop worrying if I'm happy enough. Aw. So he just feels a little bit misunderstood, but he's happy. I mean, he loves making you happy, and he's doing well. Oh, you've been thinking about trying to find him another home? Well, that makes them insecure. If you start having conversations like that with people, They hear you, you guys. Your animals hear you. He says, please find me a good home if we must part ways. I love you so much. Oh, I love how you try to speak my language. We got a good thing here, you and I. So, yeah, see, I think there's a spirit or other supernatural energy in our home. You'll have to figure out what that sound is and just tell him. I feel so content and comfortable with you. You make me feel so special at home and appreciated. So, yeah. So just like learn some more about animal behavior and try to understand him better, like on that level, it feels like. Okay. Anything else you want to tell her? Nothing. Say. It feels like he needs some desensitization so that he doesn't get freaked out by every little sound, so he's not so sensitive. Okay. So the cat. He's feeling pretty confident. He's feeling a little like a king. I see him like strutting his stuff. You may have given him something that's making him feel kind of proud or special somehow. I maybe even a cat enclosure. Did you get him a cat enclosure or something? He's just feeling like he's top of the mountain. Yeah, he's just I can't even describe, like it's really a great energy. It just feels like he feels on top of the world. Whatever you've done, it's making him feel really good. He says, I'm doing what I can to make you feel safe and secure. Aww. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for allowing me in your life. Oh, I'm in more pain than I'm letting on. Please help. So maybe he's in pain and he's trying to act tough or act confident for you on purpose, like maybe overdoing it. Like, hey, I got this, I'm so strong and blah, blah, blah. So what kind of pain? Sad. He said he's sad. What's he sad about? He's sad for you. Are you depressed? Maybe it's like it feels like he's sad that you're sad, and he's just maybe even trying to be a bit of a ham and have a sense of humor to cheer you up. He said, I would really like to have some energy work done on me. All right, so let me do that. La pomama aiken saseshina taiken. Hapoma hamaana ain che sa alakens. Okay, so let me explain to him not to take on your energy too. Boy, these animals, they really, they get so empathetic and they care so much about you, they'll take your stuff on. Chin chin sase laken. Hapam pamahumaan taike sanse. Alahana an chinchiken sase. Alapumpama na I. He goes, oh, that's a great idea. I just showed him how to process it. He loves that idea. Please stop taking so many pictures and videos of me and just enjoy the moment with me more. I love you. Please find me a home if we must part ways. Oh no. My environment feels a little overwhelming at the moment. I need some time alone, undisturbed, please. Perhaps underneath something or up high in a crate of my own or even in my own room. That's funny. I felt that. I felt that he needed like an escape. Like sometimes because he's so busy being an actor for you that it's like he really does need some time to just recuperate and get away. And I think it would be good for you to find him. Like, I don't know if you can get some shelves with a box up real high or real low. Okay. Ooh, I don't like that person, place, or thing you're wondering about or talking about all the time. I want you to be happy. So he doesn't think you'll be happy if you keep going down that road or whatever that is. So you might want to consider that he might know something you don't know, or maybe he could sense something that you don't know. So I would be listening to that. Okay. Okay. MO. Hi, Amy. You were so accurate in my last reading. I want to move away from the town me and my DM lives. Here are my following questions. Number one, we texted back and forth on 2/2/22, 2 days before you read for me. And he said that he loves my paranoia and that he agrees that he has psycho bitches on his back too. Should I tell him what his karmic did to me in the spiritual world, or just leave it alone? I know he's waking up to the fact that he was manipulated, but not sure if he's going to take black magic info very well. All right, let's see. Come on, they said yes. Yeah, they said yes. They said he's ready for it. He's becoming more open-minded. Okay, let's take a look at what he'll think if you do tell him. I think you should, say it even like playfully or like lighthearted. I'll be like, oh my God, like don't necessarily freak out, but just be like, you know what? Do you know that, some people, like, if you really wish harm on someone, or if you really wish they weren't doing well, then that's a form of black magic. I've even wondered if your ex was, putting black magic on me, like hoping I don't, end up with you or something. Just say something like that. And so that he could, most guys will, slough that off, be like, oh no, I'm sure that's not, oh, that's just silly. A lot of them will do that, but at least it gets them thinking. And they're like, I wonder if she would be doing something like that, So how would he respond, or how would he feel if she told him what she was thinking of telling him? Wow, definitely do it. He'll think of you as being really grounded and mature, and he'll be wanting to throw the devil out of his life. Like, maybe it'll confirm something for him. Maybe he's already suspecting she may be doing something like that. And it gives him the gumption to get rid of her, to be like, I'm done with that riffraff. I don't want to be manipulated like that anymore. Forget that. And he's got the Ace of Wands too. So he's got the Wheel of Fortune, or he's got the Queen of Pentacles, which would be you, or the Queen of Pentacles could also be he realizes that she's after his money, something like that. But either way, I mean, I think it's both. So he's going to want to get rid of the devil and start something passionate and new with you. So it's going to give him the strength to feel like he can have victory with you. Okay, so number two, it felt like he was trying to connect with me and he was more open, but I don't want to fall into a rabbit hole and cling to breadcrumbs either that he gives me while he's still with her. Okay, so I felt like he was trying to connect with me and he was more open, but I don't. Okay, so that is cool that he's more open. The way that I see it is I'll kind of like watch a guy's behavior to see how they're acting and if their behavior changes naturally without me having to say anything. So like I'll see, like, are they still like, if they've broken up with somebody, let's say a lot of people have, like, people who've had karmics or something like that, are they still in contact with them? Are they still following that person? Are they still, do they have still songs on their playlist that talk about missing the person or taking them back in a heartbeat if they came back? Or like, is he showing any kind of indication of wanting, in your situation, is he showing any kind of indication of wanting to move forward and move on, and having made a mistake, and what he wants to do about it? So if I were you, and I think this is good for everybody to do, is to just sit back and wait and see what their actions show you, as their actions do speak louder than words. And if they show that things have not changed and they still keep continuing to be as they are, then you don't give them anything. You don't give them any encouragement or feedback or anything until you feel like there's been some kind of a shift. And you can be honest. You can be completely honest, especially if they ask you, like, hey, where are you coming from? How are you feeling about our connection? Then you could just say, well, you're still with someone, so I'm not going to, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not giving you nothing right now because you're in a relationship. Forget it, or, depending on the situation, but be completely honest with that person, be completely, totally transparent if they're willing to communicate with you and talk to you. then tell them whatever you need to tell them. That's the God's honest truth. But I wouldn't have sex with someone who's married or in a relationship. I wouldn't even flirt. I wouldn't do any of that. They know you like them. You can say that with your words. I'm madly in love with you. And if you weren't with somebody, I would love to have a chance. But other than that, leave them completely alone and let them know, like, I'm not going to cross those lines. And so you're going to have to kind of man up and make a decision here, because you can't ask me to inconvenience myself and my life and my sanity, so that you feel comforted somehow that you've got two options you're juggling. So forget it. Forget it if you're wanting me to do that. So keep the rapport, keep honest, and watch his behavior and see what he does, basically, is what I'm saying. All right. Number 3. Third question includes me. Okay. The house and art studio I want to move to is an hour away from where I live now. I love the idea of expanding my business and activating people more with my work, but I also want to buy a house in Poland and become your ambassador in Europe. Awesome. Is it possible to combine those two timelines? I'd get a big yes. Yeah, the ambassador job that I've advertised for, which again, I have not called anybody back on because I have to get the financial backing and everything together first. I just wanted to get a pile of people that I could start calling when I need to. And beforehand, because just I have my reasons, but it's really not, you can do it part-time, you can do it full-time. You could do it. Well, I just, as much as you need. It's not going to be like, well, actually I kind of would like somebody to be full-time, but I mean, maybe you could, we might be able to work something out. Because I could probably do with a couple of part-time people. But I haven't even expanded to Europe right now anyway. But that could totally be doable, because I think that's what I would do, is if there were a couple of people in the same country that both wanted to, you could do yours for a hobby. You're not even going to need any money. But if you wanted to do it just for fun or whatever, yeah, totally do work on your passion project. Or maybe you could do it outside those hours or something. I don't know. But I'm super flexible. See, I'm a Gemini, so I multitask like crazy, and I've always wanted to live partially here and partially in Europe. What do you pick up on with this? So, is she going to end up doing that? Is she going to go to Poland? I get a yes. And I see you having a lot of fun. I see you laughing and having fun playing around with all of it. And I just see you dancing around and creating. And I feel like you in a really playful, fun, happy, silly energy. I think you're going to be like silly happy in the future. And that might actually include you being with that person that you love so much. So I'm just saying, I think he might go back to Poland with you. He just has to let that burden down that he married the wrong person, make a judgment call to have a new beginning with you. So, yeah, it looks like he is still wanting to break up with her and marry you, the one he should have married in the first place, the one he wanted to marry in the first place, but didn't have the guts to say to you. These guys, man. I know. I just saw the Page of Wands. It's like he felt like he was a little boy. He was all scared, and he wanted to people please that other person because she came on with all this pressure and this idea for this other thing. So yeah, unfortunately, those karmics, man, they can sniff it. They can sense and sniff when a masculine's about to do the right thing, and they jump on it. They're opportunistic, Okay. Okay, so we've got CD. Hi, a light language blessing from my DM to me. I want to do a spread for you guys. Again, holding your hand. He said, are you coming? I'm at Shane's. I'll say, well, you have to actually give her an invitation in real life for her to come with you, goofball. And pin my Amma on. He's afraid he's going to miss out on his bright future over putting work first and wanting to be successful. But it's like he's starting to see that his work isn't the thing that's going to make him happy. You know, how is he getting his cups filled in life? And he's actually rethinking that. There might be somebody in his life. If he has a karmic, then it's like she was after his money or something, and he maybe that's what the thing. Maybe he had to like tell her, look, not everything's about money, okay? And all of a sudden he's like, oh, I just heard my own words. I guess it's not, you know, maybe he judged himself and he's like, oh, I guess I kind of pushed this other person away because I put money first. So I feel like there's some kind of a lesson in there about money being first. Did I talk about this in the February love reading? I think I did. But he wants to rectify that. It's like, it made me think of that movie Family Man with, I think it had Nicolas Cage in it. I'm being held up in a self-imposed prison of some sort. I'm doing my best to get out of this. Please don't worry about me. What I'm going through would burden you, and I don't want to add stress to your life. I'm protecting you from all the drama, so please just trust that I know what I'm doing. Okay, that's the same one. I'm finally starting to love myself enough to be open to you loving me. I'm on shaky legs yet, but I'm heading in the right direction. I want to work on this so I'm not too needy and push you away. I'm making plans for us behind the scenes I don't want you to know about just yet. I'm setting us up for a bright future and I want to impress you next we talk. Some of my friends and family don't approve of you, but I don't care. And some things you've said have him reeling. I appreciated it, even if I acted defensive. I just want you to know that there's nothing I don't love about you and your life. I don't care about our differences. I choose you over my ego. I'm still trying to get over my ex and related wounds. Please give me space while I heal this. I've just been through the ringer. So yeah, maybe all that stuff I said was true. And so he's just kind of licking his wounds. So he says, please just hang in there. Don't go running off or anything. Just sit still. Just sit still. I just saw or sensed flowers being delivered to your door. With an I'm sorry, some kind of a message, an apology message. So either he's thinking of doing that. I think he's thinking of doing that. So, but he doesn't want to do it yet until he feels stronger. I feel like he's pretty dented from that experience he just went through. Okay. Okay, AJC. Hi, Amy and the collective. I'm wishing everyone an amazing Valentine week ahead. Oh, yeah, that's coming up, isn't it? I'm just wondering if I can get a quick relationship spread on my person. Absolutely. Love you. I appreciate your guidance and love and light you share with us all. You are truly one of a kind. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at what he's thinking and feeling about you. What's he thinking and feeling about you? Okay, so I feel like there's, I just did a reading. I think it was on the 2/22/22 reading, where I do a check-in for true love. Check that out because I feel like it pertains to your masculine. If you haven't already. Let's see. Go ahead. I just saw the words go ahead. So I think he's thinking he's going to go for it. Ooh, 3 of Cups. Okay, so let me get some clarifiers. We got the Sun card, so that makes all the cards positive. All right. So yeah, he wants to talk to you. 3 of Cups and the King of Swords is what he's thinking. He's going to be celebrating when he talks to you. He can't wait. Maybe he wants to take you out for drinks or something too. He definitely has a lot to say to you, girl. He's got some clarity coming to you that's going to transform your whole situation and bring you some peace of mind. It's like divine interventions kicked in and told him, like, you need to apologize and you need to do something about this to rectify it, like now. So he wants to communicate something to you that's going to make you guys really giddy and happy. And he is wanting to act out of integrity, and he knows and realizes that you are just like an incredible opportunity he can't overlook. So he wants to heal things with you. He may even be thinking to have a baby with you. Maybe that's what he's going to tell you, is that he's open to having a baby now, or like he wants to have a baby. But he wants to go charging forward and out of integrity. I mean, you've got 2 kings you've got the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and then the Knight of Swords. So that's some real fierce energy. And like, it's kind of like, no more nonsense. I'm coming straight up now, and I'm just going to tell you what I got to tell you to heal the situation and get us happy again. And then his overall energy is like going forward very quickly, like coming out of being a hermit and going on a new journey that he knows is going to be like more fulfilling and happy. So in the future, it looks like he gives back to you and he fights for you. He's got the faith that you guys are going to work, and he may be fighting other people's opinions off or something in order to get back to you. But maybe it's a third party. Maybe there's a person that still wants him, or somebody who wishes she could be an option for him. And he's going to fight that person off so that he can balance things out with you better. And a little wink from the universe is the Ace of Swords and the Fool. So he's really clear that he wants to take that leap of faith with you and have that new beginning happen. I just noticed the rose that the Fool is holding is yellow, and that stands for friendship. So I guess it's possible that he wants to go from thinking of it as a friendship into a relationship. So if he was friend zoning you, it's like he wants to deepen it. And it's really the reason he was keeping you a friend is because he was really scared. And now he's like willing to walk off that cliff if he has to, because he feels like you're like his dream come true. You've done nothing wrong. I'm just figuring things out. I love you. I want you, and I'm coming for you. Please just be a little bit more patient with me. I plan to call or visit within a matter of weeks if all goes as planned. I'm having to do a lot to get ready and don't want you to know that I'm coming. I've never stopped loving you, and I never will. Okay, hang on. I'm going to get these straight up in my hands. I'm going through somewhat of a financial crisis and restructuring right now. I don't see a lot of coins in his spread, though, except coming up in the future. So maybe he's anticipating he might have to change jobs or careers. You are his guiding light, in his ascension, the light at the end of the darkness. So interesting. So maybe he's wanting to make some changes so you guys can have kids. I'm planning a big surprise for you to make up for everything I've put you through. Well, amen. Hallelujah. That would be awesome, right? Okay. Okay, AP. My daughter is 42 and has recently been getting seizures. They don't know what it is or why, and I feel helpless. Oh. Okay, so my first question is well, she didn't put a question. She just said she's feeling helpless. So let me look at your first question. Your second question. She's a beautiful girl, but not very ambitious. Will she ever get married? If so, when? Okay. So she's 42 and recently getting seizures. What's the cause and why? I feel like stress. I feel like, oddly enough, I feel like I say it's odd because people on my channel, like, they know about this stuff, but I feel like it's from the bees. But it was from a while ago, like a breaking down of her system, a slow breaking down of her system, something wearing thin in her blood or something. It's starting to it's starting to weaken. starting to weaken her blood. You know, what might help is rutin, Rutin. Obviously, well, Qigong helps every ailment as well, but for some odd reason, I feel like rutin would help her. Now, I'm not a doctor. um, so, and you guys agree to my disclaimer when you order these questions. So, having said that, I do feel like rutin would help her. And rutin makes, from what I understand, it makes your blood vessels or blood veins stronger. So yeah, I think that'd be a good thing. I also feel like there's a company that's www.antiagingbed.com that you can go to. And they have something called a BioShield. It's like a BioShield pad. They even have one you can put on your mattress, but it heals you while you're sleeping. And with the pads, all you do is sit on them, or you could even place the pad on something that's injured on you and it'll heal it. It's amazing. I mean, it's not like it heals from in front of your eyes or something, but it definitely it's incredible stuff. So it's Tesla technology. So I feel like that would also very much help her. Obviously, when we have the med beds, this is going to be a non-issue. There's a recent video that I did where I start off, I think it's my energies of 2022, or no, 22222. What's going on in the world. Have her listen to the beginning of that, because the love vibration of the tuning forks, it feels like is something she needs to listen to on a regular basis even. So any of those things would work. If she can get some tuning forks to the frequency of earth or love, that might be 432 hertz or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, that would be healing for her as well. She needs some self-soothing. She could do my exercise, thank you God for my misery. I feel like that would really help her to come to terms with some of the things that she's been going through and help her de-stress and see that it's all happening for her benefit, so she can relax a little bit. Start fresh. I just got that she could be starting fresh, so maybe she's going to be moving or relocating. I've been seeing that energy a lot too. Yeah, she needs a fresh start. She needs to get rid of stale, stagnant, toxic type of energy and move on and have like a second chance at life and start being more positive and doing some more things to build her health. Okay. And number 2, yeah, she's a beautiful girl, but not very ambitious. Will she ever get married? I actually just got a yes. Let's see. So it's 2022 right now, 2024. There's energy of maybe her starting to date in 24, but she may not get married till 32. 6, 7, 8. Wow. So she'll either be dating people, generally speaking, until 32 when she gets married, or she's like with the same person for like 8 years and then they get married. Not quite sure which way that's going to go. But her time of not dating is soon to be over. I feel like this person is gonna change a lot of that energy that you see as her being not very ambitious. She's gonna want to. Sometimes when you just click with the right person, all of a sudden you kind of kick into gear in a way, and you become more active and ambitious and all that kind of stuff that you're talking about. Like you get like excited and make some changes, and you get like, oh my gosh, I can go do this, and you start daydreaming again. You feel. She's been deflated by some things in her life, but it feels like getting in the right relationship is definitely going to like put a fire under her, I guess, and get her going in the right direction again. In fact, it actually feels like she actually starts to get in the right direction. And that's when things line up for her romantically. it's not like she's going down that path, but she's starting out on the path. And then all of a sudden somebody comes in and she's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the fuel that I needed for my fire. So yeah, it's got a really good feel to it. And the guy is really, really grounded and mature. You're going to really like the guy. You're going to appreciate him coming into her life big time. And I think they'll be together for like a really long time, really solid. Okay, so let's do a general blessing for everybody listening. Drop your shoulders and just relax. And as long as it is in the highest good for everybody involved and doesn't violate anybody's free will, then it will be amplified. And so put your focus on what it is, put your intention out there on what you'd like to see happen in our world or in a certain relationship or, you know, between you and someone else, whatever. Hama natain sasashe la again. Hupum puma omaan. Ha lake saseshi na hatmana. Ha la honka in tate isan seshi ila pumpa on. Ha lake in nate. She na hasan se la kari pim puma ana I. Hi. There was kind of, it almost felt like a finality to it, like, okay, it is so. So perhaps everybody who's just made a wish it's all come true, or is coming true, or is going to start coming true. So awesome. Well, okay. If you guys have a question or you come up with a question within the next few days, you can be a part of the next Q&A next week. Just go to amysatori.com/ask Amy, and you'll get all the details there. And I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.